Recorded Books presents Ghostriders, 1976 to 1995. Invictus Combat History of the AC-130 Spectre Gunship. Iran, El Salvador, Grenada, Panama, Iraq, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Somalia. By William Walter. Narrated by Pete Bradbury. Preface. Beginning in the early 1960s, the number of U.S. ground forces steadily increased in Vietnam. Numerous U.S. Army Special Forces camps were situated in South Vietnam to protect the citizens of South Vietnam from attack by North Vietnamese insurgents. These small SF camps protected hamlets and villages that came under constant attack by Communist Viet Cong guerrillas. Though most attacks were conducted by small teams, large attacks of 1,000 or more had occurred where SF camps were overrun and defenders killed. It was evident U.S. Army Special Forces desperately needed persistent, lethal close air support, CAS, to defend against Viet Cong human wave attacks, especially at night. Unfortunately, a capabilities gap existed since the majority of USAF fighter aircraft were designed to fight a Third World War scenario against the Soviet Union. The USAF discovered fighters capable of supersonic speed with short mission duration because of fuel burn rates proved difficult to employ in a slow-speed, long-time on-target role. Once USAF leadership, air staff recognized the capabilities gap, World War II-era propeller-driven fighter-bomber aircraft were pressed into service in Vietnam. These aircraft were more appropriate for the CAS role since they were slow and could remain over target for long periods. Though these aircraft were primarily day-only, use of illumination flares provided a rudimentary night capability. Recognizing the issues at hand, Aeronautical Systems Division ASD engineers at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, AFB, Ohio, brainstormed ideas to quickly improve CAS capabilities in Vietnam. Acknowledging the fundamental capabilities of an effective CAS aircraft are persistence, lethality, and survivability, the challenge to find a solution via conventional means was difficult. Recognizing the dilemma, engineers believed the pylon turn was a logical concept. This tactic required the pilot to fly a circular orbit over a fixed point on the ground. In effect, the pilot would fly a constant left-banked turn for extended periods to ensure constant, uninterrupted sight of the target or ground force. Firepower would be provided by multiple guns and a large amount of ammunition and fuel to remain on station for long periods of time. With all engineering tenets and constraints considered, converting a cargo aircraft into a gunship was considered the best option. Though ASD engineers initially met resistance at air staff, by 1964 ASD received a small budget to proceed. Initial experiments were conducted on a C-131 transport, first using a camera, then a gun. The experiment demonstrated enough promise to move the experiment into a project phase. In 1967, the ASD Gunship Program Office set forth an effort to upgrade proven AC-47D capabilities with a larger and more powerful aircraft, and the C-130 was favored for conversion. Details of the initial AC-130 program can be found in Ghostriders 1968 to 1975, Mors de Silis. However, the Vietnam-era AC-130 gunship remained unchanged as of 1976, where this story begins. Prologue. When the U.S. military withdrew from Vietnam in 1975, the Department of Defense, DoD, dramatically changed national defense priorities. Though the small fleet of AC-130 gunships of the 16th Special Operations Squadron, SOS Spectre, destroyed over 10,000 trucks on the Ho Chi Minh Trail and saved scores of soldiers' lives during close air support CAS missions, air staff felt the AC-130 was no longer needed. Instead, they focused on Cold War capabilities to fight a Third World War scenario against the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, USSR. Accordingly, air staff placed priority on supersonic-capable fighters and large subsonic bombers designed to deliver nuclear payloads from high altitude over long distances. As a result, Special Operations Forces, SOF, from all military branches were either cut back or, in some cases, eliminated. By the beginning of 1976, it was clear that the AC-130's days were
Sample complete. Ready to continue?